What's going on, guys? So today we are going to be having a look at my Carina's Challenge Volume 4 Heroes Abyss run. So to start this off, we are taking the Darkhawk Luke Cage path. That is going to be a slightly shorter path, which is going to work out for me. And honestly, I think doing Darkhawk and Luke Cage with this team is going to be so much easier than trying to fight Thing and take that path. We are starting off with this Darkhawk fight here. I am taking it with Mr. Fantastic. He does make this fight pretty simple and easy. Darkhawk has access to a ton of healing on his special 2. We're going to take advantage of that, and he'll reverse it with Mr. Fantastic. So if you've never played Mr. Fantastic before, he's pretty simple. He makes this fight super easy. We're going to put our pre-fight debuffs on, keep them refreshed and up with the heavy attack, and then throw our special 2 to get more of those pre-fight debuffs. You'll see here, little mistake. Didn't really need to throw a special 1. Didn't want to throw a special 1. It happened. We're going to move on. So, like I said, throw those special 2s, get more of those pre-fight debuffs, and then you'll see his health kind of melt down. A pro tip from MSD, I'm crediting him because he's the first person I saw talk about it, is to not apply Mr. Fantastic's negative combat power rate pre-fight debuff, because we want Darkhawk throwing lots of those special 2s. We are sticking with his first 2 debuffs, the Petrify and the Damage Over Time debuff. Nice little heavy counter. Let him throw that special 2. We are already getting some healing reversal, and we haven't even ramped all the way up yet, which is nice. I do have Despair and Inequity maxed here. I will say Despair is the more important of the 2 if you have to pick one, because Despair is going to give us significantly more healing reversal. Inequity is just nice if you get hit. All the debuffs we have placed, it's going to significantly reduce Darkhawk's damage, his attack rating. So, nice little one to have, especially in the Abyss, but definitely not needed. However, if you're planning on doing a heal reversal on anyone, I would for sure max out Despair if you haven't already. Now we finally have all 3 of our pre-fight debuffs from here. The fight's pretty simple. We're just going to parry and heavy and let Darkhawk throw those special 2s. And I will say, as much as it is there to help you, Mr. Fantastic's evade does become pretty annoying pretty quickly. Especially in the fight like this, when you need to hold block and then ideally re-parry Darkhawk so he doesn't throw a special 1. When your character's evading back and forth, it makes it a little bit harder. It is a feature that I wish you could turn off, but you can't, so what are you gonna do about it? I am going to speed up the fight here. It gets pretty repetitive. Feel free to skip to the next one if you'd like. I'm just going to parry heavy, and you'll watch his health kind of melt down here pretty quickly. One more special 2, and that should finish him off. And Darkhawk's down. 7-minute fight. A little long, but nothing too crazy. We are using a rank 1 unawakened Mr. Fantastic. Next up, we have Luke Cage. Now, this is notoriously one of the hardest fights in the Abyss, and Shuri actually does really, really well for this fight. This was honestly one of my favorite fights out of this entire run, just because it was my second time ever actually beating Luke Cage, which was pretty fun. But just how easy Shuri makes this fight. She's so tanky, and her miss is incredible. But you'll see here, I'm boosting up. Boosting wasn't really necessary on the heal reversal for Mr. Fantastic, but it will be in this fight. So this fight does start off pretty normal. I mean, it's essentially just a normal Luke Cage until that little unstoppable timer goes off. So we're going to build up our shock debuffs, throw a nice special 1, get our crit passives. And now he's unstoppable and unblockable. And I slowed it down a little bit there for you, but the reason why Shuri's so good for this is because at 2 parries or 10 blocks, she can go untouchable. And when we're untouchable, it's extremely easy to get an intercept off on Luke Cage. Because whenever you intercept him here, that's what gets rid of the unblockable, unstoppable. And there we actually messed up. So now we don't have our untouchable. He is unblockable and unstoppable. I'm gonna let him hit me till he can throw a special. And you'll just see just how tanky we are. Because we're awakened, we can block those unblockable specials, and then we're able to go untouchable again. So worst comes to worst, we're out of charges, he's unblockable, I just let him hit me until he can throw a special, and then we can get that intercept off again. And see right there, I feel like that first one should have been an intercept, but the second one did it. We can just strike into him as soon as he misses into us, and that gives us the intercept and takes away the unstoppable and unblockable. And unless we're doing that, it's a pretty simple normal fight. We got 47 of our debuffs, 30 of our shock passives. Block those unblockable specials, let him miss, hit back into him. Just let that whole special miss. Parried the special, got our untouchable, got rid of his unstoppable, and it's just really rinse and repeat from there. And now we are fully ramped. All 50 shock debuffs and passives. Now the goal is just to not die. And I do speed up the fight a little bit here for you because it is a, slightly longer one. I mean, it's the Abyss. They're all slightly longer, but you know what I mean. From here on, it's repetitive. And Shuri's SP3 does a big hit of burst damage for every one of our shocks that's on the enemy, which is a nice bonus for Everest content like this. here, we messed up again. But it's fine. I did my special 3 to refresh the shocks. Now we just gotta intercept them. And just like that, good as new. Yeah, and between maxed inequity with those shock debuffs and her armor passives, I think I've eaten about 3 combos to the face here, and we're still at roughly 80% health. She's just so tanky. For sure one of my favorite tech champions. And just like that, Luke Cage is down. Yeah, I got hit 15 times in that fight, and we're still at 78% health. Quite impressive. I love Shuri. Up next, we have Old Man Logan. This is going to be another hero reversal fight for Mr. Fantastic. Old Man Logan has insane regen in this fight, so it's going to make quick work of him whenever we turn that around. Unlike the Darkhawk fight, we are using all 3 of our pre-fights. It doesn't matter if he throws specials or not when we want that extra heal reversal. So, same thing, parry heavy, throw our special 2, and you'll see him melt very quickly. And just like that, Old Man Logan is down in just under 3 minutes. Up next, we do have a Havoc fight. This is a super simple fight. I am taking it with Professor X. Very easy fight. You do gain a ton of willpower healing from those debuffs he puts on you, and even when they detonate, they don't do very much damage at all. Professor X is very much an easy go-to for this fight. Honestly, I think anyone can take this fight. I do die here. You will see that later. I do mess up. But for the most part, very easy fight. you really only have to worry about your prowess buffs falling off. So this is going to be a very standard Professor X fight. If you've never played Professor X before, he's not too complicated. Basically, we're going to parry, charge our heavy, and gain those charges you see in the top left-hand corner underneath this health bar. As long as those are above 25, we can't be evaded or miss, which is very nice. You don't really need it for this fight, but it'll come in handy later. Make sure to dodge Havoc's unblockable specials. And then once we are at our special 3, we're going to charge our heavy, cancel into the special 3, and from there we can just rotate heavy attacks and canceling into our specials until we're out of power. We're going to gain lots of those prowess buffs, and then at the end we're going to channel for a little bit longer to gain some more of those charges, and then dash back to refresh all the prowess. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, the only thing you really gotta worry in this fight about is being able to throw a special so that your prowess buffs don't fall off. Keep in mind, this is only a rank 2 Professor X, and most of our hits are hitting the damage cap, and this is where we start to mess up a little bit. So I got hit with that special 1, which is fine, we recovered. We have 32 prowess buffs, so one more special 2 would probably kill him. I thought the spacing on that heavy was good, I'm not sure why that whiffed, and I have no idea why I thought it would be safe throwing a heavy attack there, but I ate a special 2, and we died. But it's fine, we're going to heal up, go back in. This is for sure not an itemless run. We're just trying our best here. And now Havoc is down. So, 1 revive so far. Not too bad. Up next is Dormammu. And this is going to be a very easy Shuri fight. And honestly, there's really nothing tricky about this fight. We're going to put 50 of our shock debuffs, 50 of our shock passives, and let him melt. Shuri also doesn't even gain the precision buff from dexing, so we don't have to worry about, for any Mystic Champ, any kind of negative side effects of gaining a buff. This is why I love Shuri. She's just so safe. She's so tanky. She has the armor up passive. She has perfect block chance. She has all those debuffs for inequity. If there is something scary, like an unblockable special that you can't dex, you can always parry twice and then throw your heavy. And as long as they can miss, they'll miss. It's just, she's so great. Very easy rank 3 decision for me, and she'll probably go to rank 4 here in the very near future. Yeah, and I don't even get to all 50 of my shocks in this fight. My shock debuffs, they're gonna stay at 47 until he dies, because the fight was just that fast and easy. I didn't even have to worry about it. See here? Just let his whole special 2 miss. Won't have to block anything. Yeah, Shuri's just great, man. Up next is Joe Fixit. Now this fight can be done a couple different ways. I'm choosing to do the hero versal path with Mr. Fantastic. All it really requires you is to eat a couple of heavy attacks, which once we get our debuffs up with inequity, don't really do any damage, to be honest. There we go, I ate a heavy. We didn't get the hearts, so we're gonna have to keep another heavy. Those heavies give him the permanent effect, so we're looking for him to roll hearts. That way he gets permanent healing and we can permanently reverse it. Throw our special 2. Get more of those debuffs up. Keep him up with his heavy. Still no hearts, so we're gonna have to eat some more heavies, which is fine. We're still at 82% health. And Joe Fixit does put lots of debuffs on you, which means lots of willpower healing. I do throw my special 3 here just to kind of get out of where I was in the corner. Just feeling a little unsafe. Alright, so now he rolled hearts. And now you'll see he has that permanent regen, and we're doing that permanent damage to him. One more special 2. We're fully ramped. And now we can really just sit back. I do eat some more heavies in this, just to try to see if I could get him to get more permanent regen. Spoiler, it doesn't happen. I just eat heavies for no reason. But I'll speed up the fight a little bit here. But overall, Mr. Fantastic, very safe, very easy, as long as they have some kind of regen available. Another pro tip from MSD is before you throw that special 3 of Mr. Fantastic, make sure to parry stun them. His Fury passive he gets is based off of how many unique debuffs the enemy has, and when you parry stun, it adds an extra, that stun counts as an extra unique debuff, so you get a little bit more damage out of it. I did whiff the heavy attack there, so I threw the special 3, so I didn't get hit. Just like that, Joe Fixit is also down. A little over 6 minutes. I'm not really worried about speed here. I'm worried about saving my revives. Speaking of which, this Mordo gave me significantly more trouble than I thought he was going to. So, going into this fight, in my mind, I'm thinking Professor X should be super easy. He counters the evade, he ramps up damage pretty quickly. I figure I can throw on Professor X's Petrify pre-fight, reduce how much power gain Mordo was getting. Didn't think it was going to be that big of an issue. And I realized that my mistake going into this fight was treating it like a Professor X fight. And I'll tell you what I mean by that here in a second. So we're going to start off like normal. I'm waiting until he can miss. Throw my heavy. That way I can evade counter. I don't want to parry stun at the beginning and get evaded. So we're above 25 charges. He can no longer evade. And now I'm thinking it's just going to be a normal Professor X fight. I forgot how annoying Mordo can be. So Mordo, whenever he has his power gain buff, not only is he super defensive. Ignore me getting hit by 2 special ones in a row. That's my bad, clearly. Not only is he super defensive and refuses to dash at you or attack even at all, but I forgot that he can block unblockable specials, which is kind of the key to this rotation. So see, I'm going to throw an unblockable special, and it doesn't matter because Mordo can block it, which normally is fine. With Professor X, if I can't throw if they can block an unblockable special, I'll just channel until they dash at me, and I can special intercept them. Except I forgot that Mordo is also extremely defensive, so he will just sit there and hold block, and not only can I can't throw the unblockable special, but he won't dash at me for an intercept either. So it gets a little frustrating. I do end up dying in this fight. I should have been treating this like a Mordo fight. See right here, big mistake, because now he can retaliate. And he just won't dash at me. So I should have treated this like a Mordo fight from the beginning. I should have played around Mordo instead of focusing on what Professor X can do. I should have focused on how to fight Mordo, and that would have gone a lot better. I will say, it is the one silver lining is that it is nice that when Mordo has his power gain buff, you can just heavy him against the wall and he won't retaliate against you, like right there. Here I was kind of panicking. I got hit, he was missing. I just threw the SP3. I'm losing my prowess buffs. He's blocking my specials. I'm gonna be honest, I was not having a good time during this fight. Forgot about my charges. He evaded me. But he can't block the special 3. See, there I special intercepted, which is nice when he'll actually dash at me. So right here, doing a little bit better. Dodge his specials. And really, I just need to focus on getting that power gain buff off of him and getting him to play more aggressively and less like a Professor X fight. But again, this is only my second ever Abyss run. My first one I did the easy path with Aegon, I want to say 3 years ago. So this is my first time, 1, taking this path, 2, using these characters. I think I did fairly well overall. I could have done a lot better. I think if I had taken this path again tomorrow, this for sure would have been a solo. And I think I actually died twice in this fight if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see here in a minute. Yep, there's the special 3, which is for sure going to take down the last 7% of my health. So, not too great. I did recover a little bit, got him down to 40%, but for sure could have done better. So we're going back in with X. This time I feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit more aware of what's happening. I still got hit by that special one, I know. We're going to try and get ramped up here a little bit. Throw our special 3. Let him dash into us. And even without the power gain buff, he refuses to dash. This is the most defensive character I've ever fought. Right here, we get to our 100 charges. I am throwing it into his block, but I need to refresh those prowess. Now that he's missing into me, I can throw another one, do some nice damage. And see here, I'm not even going to throw it. I'm just going to keep channeling while he's being defensive. Again, play it more like a Mordo fight. Save my power. Trying to get a refresh on those browse buffs. And here I just need him to throw that special 2. I need him to throw that special 2. And he just doesn't. He turtles up, gets defensive, gets to that special 3. And that's my second death on Mordo. So, I'm not stressing too hard about it. There's only so much you can do when the AI refuses to throw specials. See, I wanted him to dash at me there, and he just wouldn't do it. So we're going for the special 3 instead. Here we get the special intercept. Hopefully another one. Surprisingly enough, he did dash at me that time, even with his power gain buff. I was kind of shocked by that. And finally, after 2 revives, Mordo's down. So, not my best game. Also not my worst. My worst is coming up. Next up, we have Venom the Duck. This is a super easy Kushala fight. I really love Kushala, and I think one of the things I love about her the most is how she doesn't get the normal Mystic Dispersion power gain. Instead, every time they gain a buff, she gains power. Which I like a lot more, especially for the champion fight coming up. But here, I started off by trying to get her blessings up, by trying to go for a soul barb. And in the end, honestly, it became easier just to cycle special ones. So, every time he throws that special one, look how much power we're gaining. I do have 4 points in Mystic Dispersion here, 4 out of 5, which does increase your power gain a little bit when they gain buffs. We're going to throw a special 1. And I did push into a special 2 here. That's not really what we want. Would much rather have those real quick special 1s. But get to throw it, gain all those buffs, throw our special 1. And now we can just really trade special 1s, him gaining buffs and me nullifying them. And Kushala just makes all of these cosmic fights such a breeze. Now right here, we get into a nice little trade-off of him throwing his special 1, me throwing my special 1. Very quick and easy. This is kind of the ideal rotation for this fight, I think. He now has 42 incinerates on him, and it's just melting. And that's going to be it. 3.5 minutes on Venom the Duck. Up next is Howard the Duck. And this is also a very easy, very straightforward fight. We are using our rank 4 Carina Dean here. Yeah, I will say the heavying at the beginning is kind of annoying. She does have a 2-hit heavy, which makes it a little easier. I don't just heavy the whole time because I was hoping she was going to get some nice crits and take down some of those indestructibles for me. Didn't happen that much. What makes her really great, especially for a fight like this, where, you know, his special 2, there's a good chance you can take some good block damage from it. Carina, as long as she has those light buffs, or whatever they're called, every time you throw the special 2, it takes away a couple of them, but you glance the whole thing, so pretty much no block damage, nothing bad happens to you. It's a really great time. Not only do you glance, but you put more energy vulnerabilities on him that make you do more damage too. Look, we blocked a special 2, we've been blocking, I haven't been that worried about dexing, and it's still at 100% health. And now that his indestructibles are gone, we can get those big damage numbers from her special 2, from those incinerates. Yeah, very straightforward fight. Block his hits, throw an unblockable special 2, it's over in no time. And just like that, Howard's down as well. Nothing too crazy. We're still basically at full health. Her glancing is so nice. Makes her so tanky for blocking hits. Speaking of revives, this Hyperion did give me some trouble. You know, it is a Kushala fight. Mr. Fantastic might work here by keeping him from throwing specials, but he just doesn't do very much damage, if I'm being honest. My Kushala is rank 3, Sig 200. For sure the best counter for this fight, but Hyperion, unless he's heavy, you doesn't gain that many buffs. Which does limit our ability to power gain as quickly. And sometimes, like Mordo, he's going to turtle up. That evade was kind of nasty. We get the Soul Barb off here. Get him to throw a special. But we didn't nullify, so now he's unstoppable, so we gotta wait it out. He's gonna power gain. That was kind of dumb on my part, but now I need him to throw that special too. Here we go. Perfect. Get off my special 1. And it keeps not nullifying the power gain buff, which is a little upsetting. But it's fine, we're doing decent damage. And I shouldn't have parried there. He's gonna refuse to throw a special. And we eat a special 3. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this shouldn't be too bad, but that was an instant death, so it's fine. Burn to revive. We're gonna go back in. Round 2 should be better. I kind of know what I'm doing. I kind of know what to expect. So we go back in, get our light attacks to get him some buffs. Get him to throw his specials. We got some good nullify RNG going. You know, in the end, this is a lot slower of a fight than the other Cosmic fights, considering I'm really the only one putting buffs on him besides that annoying power gain. But we're getting our nullifies, he's throwing specials. That's really all we had to worry about in this fight, was nullifying a bunch of every once in a while so he doesn't go unstoppable and getting him to not use a special 3. And it turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. right here, I just need him to throw that special 2. And he just won't do it. So, there's another special 3 and another revive down. That was a little close, a little dicey, but he threw it in the end. So, we're fine, we're chilling. But yeah, that Hyperion power gain is no joke. He evaded me twice in one special. That was fun. See, he just goes so defensive here. Just refusing to throw specials. Got the special intercept, got out of the corner, because that could have been really bad. But it's okay, he recovered. There we go, we got some good incinerate damage going. He's throwing a special 2, life is good. Yeah, 2 revives later, we finally got him down. On to our next fight, we have the champion. So this champion fight actually isn't too bad. He does have his own personal unstoppable on top of the node unstoppable. But the thing about his unstoppable is as long as you special intercept, he's not unstoppable. It's only against basic attacks. And like I said, the thing I really love about Kushala is that whenever he gains buff, she gains power. So you're going to see here, even if we don't have a bar of power, usually whenever he goes into his Primal Fury and he gains unstoppable, the buffs he gains from it will push us to a bar of power so that we can throw that special 1 and get rid of his unstoppable. So, here we go, he's unstoppable. I was kind of thinking, I hadn't done this fight in forever, I was thinking if I intercepted him it would go away like Luke Cage. Clearly it didn't work. And then he evaded me. Of course he did. But now I can parry, throw my special 1, get the nullify. Now that I know what to do in the fight, it goes a little better. So, forgot how fast it was going to happen. But it's okay, we get a soul barb. Now he's unstoppable, but we got a special 1-up from the power gain. Perfect timing, throw our special 1, get rid of the unstoppable, get lots of incinerate debuffs. Get the special intercept off. Nice long soul barb. Again, the primal rage put us over the edge of bar of powers. We can use our special 1, counteract it. just a good time. On paper, I would have thought this fight was going to be a lot harder than the Hyperion fight, but this one turned out to be not too bad. And yeah, just like that, the champion's down. So up next we have Cyclops. Now again, this is going to be a very easy Shuri fight. And actually, when I was streaming this, I forgot how easy of a Shuri fight this was going to be. Because this Cyclops, as you know, he cycles through two different kinds of specials. One that you have to parry, and one that you have to dex. But, the thing I forgot about Shuri is she can block unblockable specials. So you don't even have to remember which one you're on. When you're in this fight with her, you can just parry both of them, and it's fine. Messed up a little bit there, but it's okay. Heavy spam in the corner. Alright, so now we're fully ramped. Now the goal is just to not die and let our shocks do the work. And right there, I forgot which one we were on, and I blocked it. It turned out to be unblockable, and that's where I realized that, oh yeah, sure you can block those. So for the rest of the fight, I just block every single special. It's fine. He's ticking for about 10,000 damage a second. Actually, he's ticking for... It's 12,000 per tick, so that's going to be 24,000 per second. See, she's just so tanky. Blocking every special, and we're not really losing any health. God, I love Shuri. Throw our big special 3. And because of all those shock debuffs and us throwing our special 1, not only is he ticking for 12k per tick, we're hitting big on our special 3, but she also has guaranteed crits on all of her basics. She's just amazing. Up next, we have Loki. Now, this Loki fight is extremely painful. It was so much more painful for me recording this than it will be if you watch it. But, again, Mr. Fantastic is a pretty good matchup here. Loki's constantly power gaining, so once we get all 3 of our Petrify debuffs up and our anti-combat power rate, he really doesn't gain any power throughout the whole fight. Once we get 2 special 2s off, he will no longer gain any specials. The only issue is this Loki has, what, like over 4 million health, and I'm a rank 1, and I am unawakened, meaning I don't get the increased combat power rate, meaning I can't throw very many special 3s, meaning this fight is going to take forever. And I also made the mistake of not letting him get off enough special 2s to get that passive on him for the special 2, which would have increased my damage a little more. I didn't think it was going to be that bad going into the fight. But once we get rammed here, I am going to speed up the fight significantly. You can watch if you'd like, but you're better off just skipping to the next one. It's a solo, but it's a 17-minute solo, so you probably don't want to sit here and watch that. Here on, it gets real repetitive. He's not getting any power. We heavy spam in the corner. When we finally can get to an SP3, we throw it. And yeah, this is sped up 800 times, by the way, so... Or 800%, excuse me. This is sped up 8 times the normal speed. And yeah, it was very, very much not a fun fight. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend anyone else do this. Unless you have no other options. I'll also say that if Mr. Fantastic had a 2-hit heavy instead of a 1-hit heavy, I would have ran out of Abyss charges, and this would not have been a solo. And just like that, after almost 16 minutes, Loki is down. So up next we have Aegon, and this is going to be a very easy Kushala fight as well. Make sure put our boost back on. I took a little break on stream here to go run an errand, so you saw my energy jump back up and our health increase. But going in with Kushala here, and this man gains so many fury buffs. This is a walk in the park. Get our big soul barb. Yeah, nothing more really to it. Just throw in SP2s, SP1s, nullifying his buffs. Very straightforward and simple. And just like that, Aegon's down. A little over 2 minutes. Up next is Invisible Woman. She does have kind of a little difficult thing here where you need to have debuffs on her. So if you're not using a debuff champ, it can be a little difficult. Luckily, we have Mr. Fantastic with us. So I am taking this fight with Professor X. He does counter her miss. He does ramp up. He does do tons of damage to get through that shield. The only thing he's lacking is a debuff, so he put that pre-fight debuff from Professor X, from Mr. Fantastic on her, and it's going to be a good time. I do all three because why not? Make sure our booster's still up. And yeah, this is a very straightforward Professor X fight. So, knock her down, keep those debuffs up. Get lots of willpower healing from the power sting she puts on us. Other than that, just gotta make sure we keep our prowess buffs up. It's a good time. just like that, 13% of her health down with one special 2. Hit the damage cap on that special 1, and she's down. And second to last, we have Cull Obsidian. Now, this is going to be one of the fastest fights in the Abyss, just because every time you nullify a buff on him, he takes 1% of his max health and damage. So, this is going to be very quick and easy with Kushala. A little bit of a mistake there. We do want him throwing those special 1s to gain those 10 combo shield buffs. And then we got too much power. Didn't get to nullify, but still by far the fastest fight in the Abyss. As long as you have someone who can nullify a buff. It's kind of a joke fight. 1.5 minutes, 5 million-ish health. And now it's Unit Man's time to shine. This fight, what can I say? I've only done this fight once with Aegon 3 years ago. I brushed up on what he does, kind of knew the gist of it. It was so much harder than I thought it was going to be with this team. I did go with Kushala. I did go with Shuri first because I have seen MSD solo him with her, so I figured, how bad could it be? I'm gonna be honest, it's not a great start. But again, she's Tank City, so we're not out yet. Now we can actually start to ramp up with her a little bit. He does shrug most of her shock debuffs, but the shock passives he can't. So I quickly realized that special 1 is kind of the way to go with her. So right here I'm thinking, you know, he's got 38 shock passives. Surely I can throw a special 2 and get quite a few shock debuffs on him. It should be about 42, and he shrugged all but 3 of them. He shrugged 39 shock debuffs. But we get the refresh. He's ticking for a decent amount. He's down to 60% health. I honestly had a lot of confidence going in right here. I was thinking, you know, I'm doing pretty well in this. It doesn't last. And we go down with 50% health remaining. So I'm thinking, you know, that went pretty well. I should be able to do some decent damage with Carina. And I do in the beginning. What I didn't realize is he very quickly goes immune to Incinerate, which is, I'm gonna be honest, is a pretty crucial part of her kit. And so my thought here was, you know, even if he's unstoppable, she's unblockable. So he's still going to take the damage. And he is. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. She's doing really well. And in my mind, I was thinking, that's going to be it. Until right here, when he goes immune to Incinerate. But I'm not going to quit. I'm still going to do as much damage as I can with her. So now I'm deciding to go for those special ones. I think it's going to be a little bit more efficient than trying to go for the special 2 since I can't put the Incinerates on anyway. But Carina goes down. And at this point I'm thinking, you know, he's down a decent amount. I really think I can clutch this with Professor X and get the kill. The only reason I didn't start with Professor X in this fight is because he is only a rank 2. So in my mind, trying to get Shuri ramped or use Carina was a better option. I think if I had started with Professor X, with him at more health, then I could have gotten ramped up better. It would have been a lot better overall. But you get a nice special 2 off. Another nice special 2. Getting some pretty decent damage. I'm still confident here. I was really hoping he wasn't going to attack me there and I could charge up to 100 and get off a special, but that didn't work. Now at this point, I'm thinking maybe Kushala can do some damage. I can maybe use a team revive, and it shouldn't be too bad. I'm still pretty confident. I'm just going over again what his abilities do. You know, I haven't done this fight in forever. But again, I still had a decent amount of confidence here that it wasn't going to be too bad. I'm still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. A lot of hope. Excited to get him down and beat him. And this is where it gets a little rough. So from here, the plan's still pretty much the same. The goal is to whittle him down with Shuri as much as possible, and as few revives as possible. But I severely underestimated how awful he gets when he's at 10% health. And that's going to be it. The Nameless Collector is finally down after a countless number of revives. So yeah, overall, not too bad, not too great. Definitely could have done a lot better. It was my second time ever, first time in like 3 years fighting him. I definitely think the villain run will go much better on the boss fight. I do plan on using Serpent for most of it. But yeah, that's going to be all for this one. I plan on streaming the villain stream sometime later this week, along with the Warpath that I haven't done yet. So yeah, catch y'all in the next one. Feel free to like and subscribe. That would super help me out. But y'all take care.